G'day guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Now today on the bench we got another very cheap budget toy grade quadcopter here that I purchased from Aliexpress. This is another one of those XIAOMI Mi branded toy grade drones, and this one is called the 109L. Okay, and this one actually does have a camera, unlike the XIAOMI G6 that I reviewed a little under 2 weeks ago. I think I reviewed it like 11 or 12 days ago. So anyway, this is another one of those quadcopters from the same seller. It's actually funny because I actually purchased this one only about 5 or 10 minutes after purchasing that G6 that I already featured on the channel. And this one took an extra week and a half to arrive. Okay, so I'm not too sure what happened there. It was from the same seller. But this one came in at around $28 US, and it comes with 3 batteries, guys. So I've got one in the drone, and we've got another 2 spare ones here. If I can get it out of the case, got another 2 spare ones here. So it came with 3 batteries, not unlike the G6 where it only came with 1 battery. As you can see, there is no markings on the battery casings themselves, but these are once again 1800 milliamp hour 1S lipos. Okay, and you can actually charge them up from the micro USB there. So anyway, here is the 109 quadcopter. So it just folds out. Okay, it doesn't matter which order you fold these out, they're all the same arm. Now this comes with brushed motors. Okay, so they are geared motors. You can probably just see the white gear just in there. And yeah, this one has a camera. Like I said, this is a dual camera option. As you can see, it looks like a fake lens on the top there, but it's got one forward facing camera and also a pinhole optical flow facing downward camera there. Okay, and that will help the stability of the drone while it's hovering. Okay, we also have an optical avoidance system on this one. All right, which I'm not even going to test out because I like to fly these drones out at the field during the day, and these do not work well at all outside, if they even work at all. These only typically work inside. I have tested them indoors before, and that's the only time they work because they're all infrared sensors, so they're not really good once sunlight hits them. Okay, it tends to confuse the actual drone, or you know, the optical avoidance won't work. If you're ever going to use the optical avoidance system, you're going to have to do it indoors where there's little to hardly any light. Okay, all right, so anyway, this drone boasts to have altitude hold, optical flow like I mentioned, about a range of 100 meters. Okay, and it has a Wi-Fi FPV camera, of course, so you're going to record all your footage to your app because this does not have an SD card. As you can see, there's no SD card slot. We've got the little antenna there for the Wi-Fi module, but that's about it. And yeah, it just has your normal functions like flips, return to home, 1 key return to home, also headless mode, those sort of functions. And there'll be some other functions within the app as well. So yeah, I decided to get the red one. You can get it also in orange and black. And if you look closely here at the actual design, it looks like a car, front end of a car, and actually sort of resembles a Lambo. Not exactly, but looks like they're going with a sort of like a Lamborghini look there, something like that. So yeah, there's a few lights on this one. So if I press the button, we've got a blue LED on the back there. We've got some headlights, of course, and underneath we got blue on the front arms and white on the rear. So there's quite a few lights on here. This one should be pretty fun to fly at night. This drone also has auto takeoff and auto land. So that's basically the drone itself. Now this drone is extremely light, which is to be expected from a brushed toy grade quadcopter like this, and it only registers on the scale at 132 grams. So you don't have to register this with the FAA. So yeah, you could just take this drone out to any field and pretty much fly it anywhere in your backyard and not have any worries about getting in trouble with the FAA or laws in your country. All right, guys, so there it is there. Let's have a quick look at what else we get before I take this out for a flight. Okay, got a couple of user manuals here. All right, so one's in the Chinese and this is in the English. wording. So yeah, it just goes on to how to set up the aircraft. Basically a quick rundown. It's a quick start guide, okay, how to fly the drone, especially if you're new to drone flying. And it's got the actual button configuration there, okay, and how to charge a battery. We also have the operation manual for the app. So use that QR code, you can install it straight to your phone. It's called XIAOMI, so I'll be doing that. And that's what the outlay of the app looks like. All right. And in this bag, we just get a couple of spare props. We've got the charger cable there, as you can see, a mini screwdriver, okay, and some prop guards there. All right, and they're pretty much only good for when you're flying indoors, so you can bump off the walls there. All right, so, and all I have to show you now is the transmitter. And once again, you'll notice that I've labeled this one myself, because the actual labeling on this was all in Chinese, as you can see there, where the sticker didn't cover the auto takeoff and land. It was all in Chinese. So here are all the buttons, guys. Okay, so let's just start off here. We've got automatic takeoff and landing. That's a quick press, okay? And I've written stop here because if you long press this button, it's going to cut the motors out, all right? You got your downward tilt for the camera, upward tilt, obstacle avoidance, where I've put O.AV. On the top here, we've got the speed switch, which is a quick press for the speeds 1, 2, and 3. And a long press of this button will put you into headless mode, okay, which I've labeled there for myself. We've got flips. Once again, quick press for the flips. So you press that and you'll be able to choose what direction you want to flip. And a long press will end up with the 1 key return, which I've labeled here to remind myself, okay? And the rest are just trimmer buttons, guys. As you can see, forward, back, left and right trim. And we've got the phone holder here, as well as the power button just there. All right, so yeah, guys, I went ahead and labeled this myself because once I'm at the field, I don't want to have to refer to the user manual there that I just showed you. That's where I got all the configuration of the buttons from. I just want to be able to not have to memorize it while I'm flying it during this review. And I suggest you do the same. If you happen to buy this drone, the XIAOMI L109 or the G6 that I featured on the channel, go ahead and label the transmitter like this. I just used a stick-on labeling and just cut them to size, so you know what button does what. All right, guys, so if you end up buying this drone, you can always pause this video and reference to what I've printed out here, okay, even on the top there. Okay, guys, before I take it out, let's turn on the drone first, and I'll just show you that this one self-binds. See that? It's self-binding, okay? So you don't have to do the typical up and down to bind it, because what happens when you do flick it up, it starts the motors, see? And you bring it down to stop the motors. So yeah, where you typically would bind a toy grade drone after turning the transmitter on, you go up and down. This one you don't have to, it self binds. All right, so let's just see the electronic camera here. As you can see, you could just press it or hold it down. It's actually pretty quick. Or you could do it in increments here. So it looks like it goes up in about 6 or 7 stages. So yeah, anyway, guys, let's take it out now and fly the new XIAOMI 109L Quadcopter. That only costs around $28, guys, and that's with 3 batteries, not one. So the 1 battery option is probably going to be around $20 or maybe even less. So anyway, I think this one might be a pretty decent one for beginners. So let's go check it out, and I'll meet you at the field. All right, guys, we're out with the XIAOMI 109L Quadcopter here. Take it out for its first flight test. All right, so I'm going to turn the drone on first. Lights are flashing. Turn the transmitter on, and like I said, this is self-binding, so all the lights are solid, as you can see. Now before we take off, I'm just going to put it on this level ground here. Okay, that's pretty decently level anyway. I'm going to do a gyro calibration. So 2 sticks down and out, you hear a beep and the headlights are flashing. All right, guys, okay, so I'll just start a screen recording The Wi-Fi app is already connected. All right guys, so we have the screen recording now. Okay, I'm going to see if I can tilt that camera up. No, that's all the way. All right guys, so we're going to take off. So a quick flick of the throttle like that, and then we're going to press the automatic takeoff button. Okay, so automatic takeoff. Let it hover there a bit, and as you can see, trying to get its position there with the optical flow camera on the bottom. And there's the camera on the drone that you can see on the app. There's a bit of jello wobble there. There is a bit of wind now. Let's test the landing feature. So that's the auto land. Okay. And let's take off again. I have to put it on the ground. Just take off again. Okay, there we go. All right, so what I might show you is the emergency stop feature. So a quick press is for the auto takeoff and auto land, but if you're in an emergency and you want to cut the motors, it's still the same button, take off and land, but we have to hold it down for a couple of seconds. I'll show you that right now. See, I held it down and it shuts off the motors, all right, which I've labeled here. Okay guys, so we got that out of the way. Let's just take it for a flight. Okay, this is first rate. Go forward. I might as well take some recording via the app. Okay, I got it recording. Got the camera all the way up. Yep. This is in first rate. Pretty slow as you can see. Okay. Got a bit of wind, so I'm going to kick it up to rate 2. You hear 2 beeps. Take it out there a bit. Can't really see what's going on the phone that much. I'm in the sun here. I've got the sun behind me. Alright, let's try to do a flip while we're here. Try the flip button. Quick press of the right shoulder button. Flick it in the direction you want. Oh, she descended a bit then. Throttle up. Okay, so you need a bit of room to do flips. Flick it to the right, right roll. Yeah, you definitely need heaps of room actually. So make sure you throttle up before you do any flips. Let's try that again. Left roll this time. I've got the throttle up and it takes a little bit to recover. I think it's because there's that little bit of added weight to the top, the obstacle avoidance camera. Unfortunately, they didn't provide a blanking plate. To take that camera off, you're going to have a bit of a hole there. So you sort of have to have it on the top. All right, so that's rate 2. Try rate 3. Got a bit of wind now, so perfect. Fire that wind. Flying all right. The throttle is a little bit slow to go up though. I'm in rate 3. Quick yaw. It's got a pretty quick yaw. I'll show you that again. That's in rate 3. Rate 1 is very slow, as you can see. And rate 2 is a bit quicker on the yaw. All right. Okay. We're in rate 3 again. Okay, so what I might do is we'll try to take it out there and we'll try the return home button, which is the flip button. Okay, but you got to hold it down. So hold it down, as you can see, come in the general direction. I'll try that again, and to get out of it, you hold it down again. So I'll take it up a bit, out. We'll hold that flip button down for a couple of seconds. You hear that beep, and we'll come back in the general direction and hold it again to get out of it. All right, that works. That works pretty good. That's what the home return is on this one. I throttled down a bit too quickly then and it wanted to keep going. Okay, let's try headless mode. Same thing on the left hand side where the speed switch button is. Okay, long press that and then we should have headless mode. Let's have a look. Yep, forward, back. I might get out of that third speed rate because the pitch is making it want to dip down too much. See, now I'm in first rate, it's staying up in the air, so keep that in mind. Third rate makes it want to, like, you know, come down to the ground. It's not doing that. So as you can see, got headless mode on, so it doesn't matter which way it's facing. I'm going to yaw, and it's just going to go in each direction. Okay, the way you control it. All right, so yeah, she's doesn't want to get off the ground at the moment. They tell me the battery's dead already. Yeah, that is the battery life, I think, guys. Well, that was rather short. Yeah, that's rather short. Okay, so finish that recording. I'm not too sure, I can't see in the light here. So that is the battery life out of this one. Rather short. See if I can take some photos. Got to go in the shade here. We took one just to show you what it looks like. Another photo there. And a photo over there. Okay, so there are the photos, guys. So yeah, rather short flight time out of that 1800 milliamp hour battery. There are some more little features on the app which I couldn't even get to today, but anyway, guys, you know, this one comes with 3 batteries, so you're going to get, you know, extended flight time. I'll definitely put the flight time up on the screen. It's a little bit shorter than I was expecting, but as you can see, the lights, I don't know if you can see that, but the lights are flashing. So that's what we expect out of the battery life on this one. All right, guys. So anyway, I'm going to leave links in the description below where you can get this particular quadcopter if you want to have a look at it. So yeah, for $26, guys, with 3 batteries, I think it's still a pretty good deal, even though the battery life seems a bit short on this particular one. But you know, if you get the 3 battery bundle, you're going to have more flight time, obviously. And I still think it's a pretty decent flyer. Except, you know, you got to watch those flips because it does tend to descend rather quickly after a flip. Make sure you're pretty high in the air if you're going to do any flips with it. But yeah, overall, it flies pretty decent for a toy grade quadcopter, and it is a brushed quadcopter, not brushless. So, you know, the motors aren't as powerful as a brushless one. But, you know, if you want to buy this for your kid, I think they'll have a lot of fun, you know, getting introduced to the hobby of drone flying in a very inexpensive way. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review on the XIAOMI 109L. So anyway, guys, until next time, enjoy the hobby, always have fun, and happy flying. Catch yous on the next one.